here. Absolutely fantastic. The usual 4 intermediate sectors coming out of turn 2, heading up just before the waves, just before the step down into the bottom of the valley and the ram jump, and then of course on the finish line. Pretty much at sea level here, but things about to speed up. It was Tace Morgan of the USA who was quickest by just over 2.5 seconds over the rider from the Netherlands, Kai Zielstra, and then Talon Medalia of Canada. The rig riot has been and gone, but the atmosphere down there on the monster rig is still electric as always. Yeah, it's a little bit chilly when the sun goes in, but when it comes out, it's pretty nice. But I'm not sure how much more sunshine we are going to get, but on and off today, I think, as the fans take their seats as they prepare for the big races later on. But we just have one more race to address, and it's the YZ bLU cRU FIM Europe Cup SuperFinale in the 85cc class. Tace Morgan, who will go to the line on pole ahead of Kai Zielstra, Talon Medalia, and then Davy Duerr of Austria. And then we've got Thailand Legan of French, or Thailand Legan. Willard Gordon, who's ridden this event before, he moves up into the 85 class. And then we've got Theo Degvold, Ivan Vidal, Nixon Coppins, son of Josh Coppins, Louis Boutet of France. And we've got a Japanese rider in there as well, Shoma Nagasawa. Jamie Curry of Great Britain, and Leo Geiser, no relation, just the same name. Jakub Selesh of Poland, and then Niall Lehman and Ralphie J. Holloway. I'll take you down to 20th. Marcin Gazorski, Liam Garshbig, and Leonardo Gaio, and Victor Mayer of Sweden. 35 riders lining up in total, but it was the number 8-10 who goes to the line on pole position. There is the 66 of Shoma Nagasawa of Japan, as he prepares to push his bike to the line, but it's the 8-10 of Tace Morgan of the USA on the 85cc machine, who pushes his bike to the line, having secured pole position earlier on, a time of 2 minutes 23.593. Kai Zielstra of the Netherlands, his time of 2:26.269. Little calm before the storm, if you like, metaphorically. Now, many times these riders have started from a mesh gate as well, as the 55 there of Talon Medalia, the son of Tyler Medalia, there he is, who's ridden for Canada. Just there, the dad in the background, bumped into him in the Golden Lion up the road the other night with the family, the wife, the mother-in-law, and some of our crew here. And then we had Team New Zealand were in there, Antti Pyränen was in there with a load of Kawasaki people, Team Canada with their junior riders, and Tyler Medalia there just with the hat in the background. No stranger to riding the Motocross of Nations for Team Canada, so great to see Talon Medalia here this weekend and going to the line in 3rd place. He had about a 1.1 second advantage over Davy Duerr. There's Theo Degvold, the Norwegian. He goes to the line in 7th place. And the 8-10 are poleman from the USA, Tace Morgan. Looking up for it, isn't he? 2.6 seconds quicker than anybody else on a racetrack he's never seen or been to before. 41 there, Louis Boutet, 10th fastest for him. Staring us down, but the 4:16 of Zielstra taking the 2nd gate, the 55 of Medalia going in alongside him. Looks like most of the riders are there. There's Coppins on the number 26, so Nixon Coppins. No stranger to doing these. I remember him at Saint-Jean-d'Angely doing one. I think he was in Ernay last year as well. So good to see Nixon lining up behind the gates here. Probably lives about an hour or so from here. Northwest. Great view of that drop-in start. Fly Racing, 15-second board up. Just saw Willard Gordon there on the 474. So he's 6th gate pick. There he is, about 5 gates in from the inside. 5-second borders turn. Gates about to drop now. They're holding them a long time. Closer to the 10-second mark, more than the 5-second mark. A nice wide sweeping first left-hand turn, 180. Slight bank to the outside there, as you can see, on the grass, but streaking away. Downhill for the first time, and launching his way downhill. Was that Zylstra on the 416? You know, I think it might have been, but doubling his way past and into the lead immediately. I think we've got the American leading the way, and it is Morgan who does fly into the lead as he goes past Duerr, actually, on the 100. There's the 14 of Vidal just there in 3rd place, as everybody else looks to separate themselves with the 66 of Nagasau, the 41 of Boutte, and Coppins in around about 6th place at the moment on the number 26. Then we've got Zylstra, Gaillot, Legat and Geisser. These ruts are getting deeper than they were when they went out in their free practice and time practice session earlier on today. But heading downhill, we pick up the 14 of Ivan Vidal of Spain. And then the 41, Boutte, trying to sneak a couple of positions, and he nips up the inside of the 416, or Zylstra actually going with him. So the 41 up to 3rd, Zylstra looking to go around the outside. And he moves into 3rd place on that 416. 14 there, Vidal, still there in 2nd. Where's your leader? You'll see him top of your screen. And he's opening up a massive lead at the moment. Duerr in 2nd position on the 100. So David Duerr, those two disappearing at the moment as they head down in the bottom of the valley. There's your leader, heading towards the ramp jump any moment now. Centre right of your screen. Getting over the tabletop there, the ramp jump. Up onto the plateau. None of the 85 riders getting over that triple. Oh, and he folds the front. Morgan goes down. Just asking too much. The track just drying out there. So he picks himself up in 4th place. Duerr leads on the 100. Zylstra now 2nd. Vidal 3rd. Morgan in 4th. Watch this, just folds it on the drying dirt, the marbles. Not sure he would have ridden anything like this. Just has to compose himself now as he picks himself back up. There's your new leader, David Duerr. 4th in the time practice session earlier on today from Austria. So good to see a couple of Austrians, not just through the 65, but also here in the 85 category as well. Bit of a gap back to Zylstra on the 416. He was 2nd in time practice, was Kai. Zylstra here, lead rider in shot. 8:10 Morgan is already back up into 3rd place as he looks to reduce the gap. Oh, it's very soft when you come into land. Zylstra coming up short, almost had a bit of a bobblehead moment, and another rider there as well.
119 on the plate, which is Geisser.
Wonder if that was Medalia that came up short. Back end a little bit leery there, misbehaving on the 8:10 of Morgan. But Tace Morgan, undeterred, continues to push on as they hit the GoPro waves. He triples his way in. Zylstra, though, trying to keep him at bay, outside. The tall Dutch rider in the white helmet, hanging on to that 2nd position at the moment as Tace Morgan tries to nip up the inside. It's a long off-camber turn, this. Staying nice and tight, stands up as long as possible, runs into a bit of trouble, but he manages to make the pass. Morgan now back into 2nd place. We'll get a lap time this time around. The race duration, 20 minutes plus 2 laps for the 85cc riders here today. As they hit the ramp jump, see the difference there. The American more than confident. Top of your screen, the leader in the red boots, David Duerr. Can he get through the turn this time around, Morgan? Yes, he can. Just rushing it a little bit on the opening lap when he didn't want to, maybe, or didn't need to. I joked with somebody yesterday or Thursday when I came here, they might need to water the track on Saturday because when it picks up the wind here and you get some sunlight on here, the track dries out very, very fast. Everyone was looking at me as if to say, are you mad? The rain that we've had all year long and in the build-up to this race. But you will get drier parts of the circuit. There is the 55 Medalia. I think it was him that cased the downhill double a few moments ago, but he's up in the 5th place. Found his way past Vidal. The rider ahead of him is Thilan Leguin on the 344, just going out of shot. Willits Gordon has now moved himself up as well. There is the, so Willits Gordon now up in the 6th on the 474. And, Talent Medalia coming to the outside here on the 55. Looking to find his way past Thilan Leguin, and he's going to get better drive through here. Can he carry the speed? Yes, he does. Launches over the table. The fans love that. And the Canadians right there as well. The flag draped over the side of the fence there. So Talent Medalia then moving up into 4th place. The 8:10 of Morgan hasn't broken free from Zylstra since moving up into that 2nd place. So the Dutch rider getting his head down, trying to pick up his pace, trying to pick up some lines from the American ahead of him. Remember, the top 3 go to a, well, the top 3 plus 2 wildcards go to a Yamaha Masterclass, and another mistake there from Morgan. Just came in too hot, tried to turn right, ended up catching an edge, turned left, went straight across all 78,000 ruts that were right there in that turn. Somehow stays up to fight another turn. But Tace Morgan throwing everything into this race. Almost like losing is not an option, winning the only option on the table, but just needs to keep his emotions in check. Morgan was the fastest on that opening lap despite that fall. 2:28.4 compared to a 2:29, but Duerr going 2:28.9 this time around, as Morgan with that mistake 2:29.5. The gap between him and the race leader now 4.3 seconds. Can he whittle it down though? Oh, you know what? Get in there. The 55 of Talent Medalia sets the fastest lap at 2:27.5, but he's 6 seconds off of 3rd place. Zylstra here. He may whittle that gap down though over the next couple of laps. Still got 7 minutes plus 2. And again, Morgan still hasn't broken free. Zylstra putting up a fantastic performance here from the Netherlands. He was 2nd fastest, don't forget, in time practice, as the sun bursts out over the basin once more. Yeah, Zylstra had that moment down there earlier on, decided, you know what, let's just play the safety game here. Here's Medalia. He had his moment, but he's not scared. Pulling the cable, launching it downhill. The 55 from Canada. Just losing ground, though, to the rider ahead of him, Zylstra. Let's take a look. He was 37.3, so he's lost another couple of tenths in the 1st sector. And in sector 2, losing another 10th. So despite clear track ahead of him, Talent Medalia here just needs to maintain his focus. Not an easy race track to ride here, not by any stretch of the imagination. Here's your leader though, David Duerr of Austria, 3 seconds clear at the moment of Tace Morgan. Duerr was 4th in the time practice session, and that was about 3.8 seconds off the fastest time of Tace Morgan, so it just goes to show as they had waved yellows, wheels on the ground through here. For the rider just picking himself up, or herself up. Because it is a race that allows the participation of young female riders as well. Gap down to nothing though. Duerr, a 2:29.3. Morgan, fastest lap of the race, 2:26.962. Less than 2 seconds between them. 1:9.98 if you want to be pedantic. Morgan with his claws in now to the Austrian. Takes a look over his shoulder. Does the 100. Realises the threat is real. Morgan right there, ready to pounce with 5 minutes to go. Zylstra 3.5 seconds further back, and he's being caught by Medaglia. That's less than 5 seconds now. The gap between third and fourth, as Tace Morgan looking to carry momentum around the outside, maybe hoping that the ruts are a little bit shallower, maybe not as choppy, a little bit more stability. And you'll see him gain ground here. Why does he go for the double? Duerr then continues to lead. Tace Morgan still launches the Monster Energy step down. Will gain ground, is up the side of the bike there, losing balance ever so slightly. Good save though from the American. Left foot was off the left foot peg. He looked like, well, I wasn't going to say cross-rutted, but he was just testing the boundaries of that rut at the bottom of the hill. The long, nervous look back from Davy Duerr any moment now, up on the back wheel. Nice shot though. So the Austrian, another look over the shoulder. He's nervous. And why wouldn't you be? Sector 1, 35.8, 35.9, a best for Morgan, but a 10th off, but then all of a sudden 41.6, 41.9. The gap's still hovering at 2.4 seconds though. But the second half of the race, all of a sudden, the American all over the back of him, and he's just set the fastest third sector of the race, a 36.2 compared to a 37.6 of the race leader, Duerr. And it's only a matter of time, surely, before Tace Morgan finds his way into the lead.
As they come around the finish corner, it is on. There they go. Duerr is leading.
Still plenty of time, 2:40-ish. So we're going to have another fastest lap for Morgan, 2:25.751. The gap about a second. Does not need to rush this. He's got 2.5 minutes plus 2 laps. Lap times around 2:25, 2:26. So still around about 7 or 8 minutes of racing here. Good effort though from Duerr of Austria. He's the first to hit traffic though. At the bottom of the hill, he slips to the inside. Back marker to the outside. That was right in the line of Morgan. I don't think Morgan got over the double jump, or maybe he did. These big-wheeled 85cc riders leading the way. Again, Duerr having to be decisive at the top of the hill through turn 6. He finds his way past, launches downhill. Morgan doing what Duerr wasn't. And we have a new leader on lap 5. Great riding that from the American once more. Watch this, alongside, took the lead. Had a lot of room to work in as well. So Morgan finds himself leading for the second time in the race. His lap time last time around at 2:25.7. Not sure if it will. Actually, sector 1, it was a 35.9, so that's about a half a second off the fastest lap. 40.9, so about a half a second there. 37.8 in sector 3, the fastest has been a 36.2. So yeah, so it shouldn't be normally another fastest lap here, but he dug in when he needed to, didn't he, Tace Morgan? Just to get himself into contention to set him up for a pass. Looking good, looking stylish is the rider, number 810. About 2.5 seconds now between himself and Davy Duerr. 2-lap board stays in, look, so 3 laps to go. their track time this morning as they prepared for their time practice session. 65s, 85 and 125s all getting the same amount of time. 10 minutes of free practice, and then when the free practice clock kind of ran down, just saw one of the Lawrence boys running back to the paddock there a moment ago, 15 minutes of timed. So 25-minute session on track plus 5 minutes of start practice afterwards. Keeping it simple at the top end of the circuit. Gap now, 6 seconds clear. Just make sure you get the distance, and he was almost off. Even the marshal was ready with the flag as he came into land. Doesn't need to take those chances anymore. We've seen a couple riders go down, come up short, grab the foot pegs, give themselves a bit of a jolt. Morgan lucky to get away with that one as well. Watch here, comes up short, loses the front on the landing as it bounces out of line. Not scared though. You genuinely aren't though, are you, at this age? Get ready to take the 2-lap board. Zielstra third, Medalia fourth, 3.5 seconds behind the Dutchman. Then we've got Willard Gordon of Denmark is next, and that's in 5th place. Then the Japanese rider Nagasawa, then Coppins in 7th, Boutet is in 8th, Degvold 9 of Norway, and then 10th, the number 14 of Ivan Vidal of Spain. Then we've got Legant, Geiser, Kuchowski, Lehman, Holloway, Selesh, Garsbeek, Meyer, Antoine and Gaio. Rider down. So wheels on the ground. They go past the scene of the crime. Through the penultimate corner into the final turn here. 2-lap board getting ready then for Tace. Morgan launches the Monster Energy double. Monster Energy hospitality there. Through turn 1, up on the pegs once more. As he goes past pit lane for the penultimate time. Rider down at the bottom of the hill. .3 seconds now the gap as he comes up behind the 23 of Ismail Mikkelsen David of Iceland. Even though he had that mistake here, and lap ago, he still goes for broken. He ends up saving it again. Another moment for your race leader on the same part of the racetrack. Kid's got more lives than a cat. Watch this here. Comes into land again, cross-rutted, and oh, I tell you what, taking himself for a bucking rodeo ride there. Still gets his head down, pulls the cable as if he's being harassed every step of the way to the line. The reality is so much different. He's got about a 10-second advantage over Davy Duerr of Austria.
And he is just trying to flow a bit more now. Now he's in the lead. He does not want to make that same
Yeah, not launching there. See those ruts at the MXGP, MX2 and Open riders are going to be landing in as they prepare for their ramp qualifying races shortly after this race. Stepping up, see how quickly it dries out on this part of the racetrack. Final turn then, before he takes the 1-lap board, and Tace Morgan with just 1 to go. His lap time last time around, a 2 minute 29.137. His fastest lap came on lap 4, and that was the fastest lap of the race at 2:25.7. Back through the first turn once more. Here's your battle for second place, Duerr and Zylstra. Medalia now slipping to 12.5 seconds down on Zylstra because he fell in sector 2. He lost about 9 seconds. Heading downhill though for the final time. Davy Duerr at 100. Kai Zylstra just there behind him in second place, in third place. Using that bank to the outside. Not a lot of sand for Zylstra to get himself into, but holding himself accountable here with a third place finish at the moment. Duerr just coming up short on the 100, but doing just enough to maintain around about a 2.5, 2.7 or 8 seconds until that mistake. That's why you have that safety buffer.
Quite a bit. They're now the second and third are now starting close back up, but he's just got to.
Right, was there a mistake here because he's losing that advantage here? That was just heading up towards the city jump. So yeah, getting cross-rutted once more. Even mistakes on the last lap then. And that's after the step down where he survived a couple of occasions. So Morgan now still has 3.5, 4 seconds in hand, but even still hasn't been without its problems. He fell whilst leading at the end of lap 1, and since leading, he's come up short a couple of times on the step down, and then even on the final lap, he got cross-rutted, turned right instead of left, halving his advantage over Duerr. But one more uphill climb towards the finish for Tace Morgan is all that stands between him and the Monster Energy finish line and the checkered flag. 2 corners to go. And Tace Morgan is going to round out the final turn. He'll launch the finish line jump. He wins the YZ85 bLU cRU FIM Europe Cup SuperFinale here at Matterley Basin. And you can see he's absolutely stoked. Still celebrating. He'll be celebrating all the way through business class to wherever it is he came from in the United States of America. Duerr second, Zylstra third, Medalia just going over the line there in 4th place. We wait for Willits Gordon. He should come through any moment now in 5th place. And then we should have Nagasawa, Coppins, Boutet, Tilan Lagan and Degvold.
Probably in the future, I mean, very quickly, because 2-3 years maximum, probably 5 years.
So Gordon over the line now. The Japanese rider, number 66 of Shoma Nagasawa. He makes his trip worthwhile with a 6th place finish ahead of Nixon Coppins, the 41 of Louis Boutet. Tilan Lagan, we're just waiting for him, or both of the French riders to come through actually, and then the 243 of Theo Degvold of Norway. What that shot doesn't tell you is the elevated status that the VIP, so the 2 tents you see in the centre of your screen on the left there, they are pretty elevated. We are in the shallow valley down the bottom here. Anyway, Lisa Leyland is with Tace Morgan of the United States of America. I wonder how his race was, and is he looking forward to watching the Motocross Nations later? I wonder who's going to win.
Tace Morgan, massive congratulations. You lost the lead, you regained the lead, but some great riding from you. You had to dig in deep out there.
Yeah, it was a good moto. I got the whole shot. I was riding my own race, and I hit a huge rock going into that corner, and I watched my front. But then I got up, started charging way too fast, about crashed a few other times. Last lap, I about threw it going down that hill. I was like, whoa, that's a close call. I rode it all the way across the ruts, but I still got it done.
I just saw Ryan Filippoto there hand you your helmet. How's it working with him?
It's fun. He's super nice. He's been telling me all the good lines, and he's been telling me how the track is, and it's sweet.
Great job. Congratulations.
Tace Morgan wins the 85cc YZ bLU cRU FIM Europe Cup SuperFinale here at Matchley Basin. Does it in fine style as well. 6.2 seconds in the end. Took the lead through the bottom of the valley on the opening lap. Found his way past Duerr. Rode his luck one or two times, but you know what? You don't know where the envelope is until you push those boundaries, do you? But anyway, Morgan wins it from Davy Duerr and Kai Zylstra and Talon Medalia, with Willards Gordon rounding out your top 5. Shoma Nagasawa, Nixon Coppins, the 41 of Louis Boutet, and just behind them rounding out the top 10, Thilan Leguin and Theo Degvold. Then we've got Vidal, Drosky, Geiser, Sulesh, Holloway, Gashbake of the Netherlands. 17th, 18th, 19th, we've got Lehman, Antoine, Meyer, and Curry. Congratulations to everybody that lined up today. Of course, not the easiest track, not the easiest conditions as well. Wind's picking up a little bit there. And the track super sticky in a few places. Someone's having a great time. There's DJ in there, as you can see, getting everybody hyped up ahead of the 77th edition of the Monster Energy FIM Motocross of Nations. We've got the we've got the RAM qualifying heat coming up in MXGP in a few moments' time with me, Paul Malin, and Jason Thomas. But what an atmosphere we've got here around about 7:30 this morning. Atmosphere was a little flat then because there were a few sore heads, I think. But as the sun started to come up, so too did the people. And that banking now, that will be packed throughout the weekend as we prepare for the biggest race on the planet. Right now, though, the YZ bLU cRU FIM Europe Cup SuperFinale podium for the 85cc category. And it was Kai Zylstra taking 3rd overall from the Netherlands. He was 2nd in the time practice session. But the rider who was 4th in the time practice session, Davy Duerr of Austria. He'll stand on the 2nd step of the podium.
But our winner, ladies and gentlemen,
but the overall winner didn't make it easy on himself, but you know what, doesn't matter. Crossed the line ahead of everybody else, and the American there, Tace Morgan, will stand on the top step of the podium. How cool is it to be working with Ryan Villapoto there as well, a Yamaha ambassador, who has his own history in this event. And the 210, Ayavina of Israel, the top young girl riding in this category.
Yamaha Factory MX2 rider. 3rd place goes to Kai Zylstra.
So Kai Zylstra, 3rd overall this weekend.
2nd place trophy presented by Alexander Kowalski from Yamaha Motor Europe.
So Alexander Kowalski then.
Manager. 2nd place goes to Davy Duerr.
The Yamaha Motor Europe off-road racing manager, handing the 2nd place trophies to Davy Duerr of Austria.
And the winning trophy presented by Oliver Prevost, the Yamaha Motor Europe president and CEO, to our winner from the USA, Tace Morgan.
Olivier Prevost, Yamaha Motor Europe president and CEO, handing the winner's plate to our winner. And a very big thank you there from Tace Morgan, our overall winner, and the best female rider, the best young girl, Ayavina of Israel. And the former world champion, Nancy van der Ven, very much a part of the Yamaha bLU cRU program, Yamaha ambassador as well, as she hands the trophy to Ayavina.
Our winner from the United States.
Your top three here this weekend: Tace Morgan, Davy Duerr, and Kai Zylstra. Of course, they will receive their medals. Bronze, silver, gold, gold, silver, bronze, whichever way you want to look at it. But I think they'll go third place, second place, first place with that medal ceremony. Just counting down the time. We've got about 3 minutes to go before we go live with our live broadcast here on MXGP TV for the RAM qualifying race for the MXGP riders for the Monster Energy FIM Motocross of Nations. Right, let's get the medals done first of all, and then we will take a real quick break. Andrea Barbieri, the FIM Europe Motocross Commission Chairman, handing the medals out to our riders. Kai Zylstra there, third overall, second overall Davy Duerr, and it will be a gold medal for Tace Morgan. Of course, we will have the dignitaries come out as well. Mr. David Longo, the CEO of In Front Motor Racing, he will join Mr. Barbieri, but the winner there taking his gold medal, Tace Morgan, on the 810 for the United States of America.
In Front Motor Racing CEO joins them for the photograph.
So there's your top three. And we're going to take a break. Join us in 2 minutes when we return for the Motocross Nations RAM qualifying heat in the MXGP class. See you then.